So how does one afflict oneself? Okay? The idea of affliction is the Hebrew word ana, and this idea of la'anot, le'anot, to afflict. Have to answer. Le'anot is to afflict. But ana, so it's le'anot, to afflict. So what does it mean to afflict yourself? Okay? Yes, good one. I think it's like that. I call it. That's right. That's right. Le'anot. Ah, okay. Okay, well wait, let me stress what you're saying so we can bring it. Le'anot. Yeah, that's right, le'anot. La'anot is a simple action of answering. Okay, hang on. La'anot means to answer. Le'anot means to afflict. And it seems that what we're looking at here is to put your body, your mind in a position where you're forcing it to answer Yehovah. Does everyone understand that? You're submitting your body to a living sacrifice. Okay, now, there's many ways you can do that. I suppose you could deprive yourself of sleep. I suppose you can not eat. That's one way. There's you could sit and read scripture all day. You can bow your head and do other things. And we're going to learn about this in Isaiah 58. But there's other things you can do in Isaiah 58 that we're going to learn about that isn't necessarily what we think it means. In other words, to deny yourself is going to mean something that we haven't even thought of, but the prophet Isaiah speaks about it in Isaiah 58. So we're going to look at this idea of affliction, to make your body, to put yourself, your mind, your body, your heart into a place where you will hear and listen to Yehovah. Because it says in Jeremiah chapter 7 and many other places, Jeremiah 23 as well, I sent prophets to you, rising up early every morning, saying, do this and do this. But you didn't listen. You stiffened your neck. You hardened your heart. You turned a cold shoulder to me. You wouldn't listen to me. So this is a day to reflect on your attitude to listen to Yehovah. Again repeating, this is your day to reflect in your mind and in your heart to listen to Yehovah. And this is going to be part of the verse that we're going to look at. So let's take a look at this idea. Now, the word contrite. Okay, how many of you have the translation of the term contrite in Isaiah 57:15? Okay. You have the word contrite? Okay. I want you to turn to Psalm 34, verse 18. Psalm 34, verse 18. Please turn there. Okay, and if somebody wants to post it here, you can do that. Okay? Let's read 4, verse 18. Jehovah is near to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Let's read it again. Jehovah is near to those who are brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Okay? Now, let's go to Psalm 51, verse 17. Psalm 51, verse 17. Let's have a look at this one as well. The sacrifices of Elohim. This is very interesting. The sacrifices, okay, that is the zevachim of Yehovah, are a broken spirit, a broken and contrite heart of Elohim you will never despise. That's the sacrifice that he wants. Listen to that. Remember what Paul says in Romans 12:1 when he says, offer your bodies a living and holy sacrifice. That is, a broken spirit. He wants something here from us. Okay? Now go to Isaiah chapter 66, verse 2. There it is again. The same general teaching of the idea contrite. Isaiah 66, verse 2. Okay? For my hand made all these things. Thus all these things came into being, declares Yehovah. But to this one I will look. Now you ask the question, which one? Which one will you look to? This one. To him who is humble and contrite of heart, of spirit, and who trembles at my word. This is very interesting. Very interesting. That's right. Now, those of you know, in Israel we have all these religious people, and the many religious people, and they are called Haredim, or Haredim. Haredim or Haredim. Haredim. You ever heard that term? The Haredim? Those are the ones that means the trembling ones. The tremble spirit ones. The trembling ones. The Haredim. So they're trembling, or they say it. Okay? But let's look at this idea of the sacrifices really meaning one who is trembling at my word in the mind, in the heart, in the body, in the soul. One who says, you are in control, I am not. Now watch. The word contrite is from the Hebrew word dakah. Dalet, kaf, aleph. Dalet, kaf, aleph. Dakah. Okay? The modern Hebrew word for depression is dikayon. Dikayon. Okay? It comes from the same root. Dalet, kaf, aleph. Dakah. Dikayon is one who is depressed today in modern Hebrew. Okay? A depression. So, think about this idea of contriteness. Dakah. Because in the pu'al, what was it? In the pu'al, the passive form of PL. Okay? Now the causative passive is, what was it? Right. To be shattered or broken into pieces. To be shattered or broken into pieces. Now, I want you to think about this for a moment because it's a really interesting picture here. Okay? I want you to picture as though we had a very, very large mirror, beautiful mirror, and we take that mirror, a beautiful, clean, sparkling mirror, and we throw it down to the ground, and it breaks and shatters into thousands of pieces. Okay? Everybody got that picture? Yes. I know I'm being redundant, but it's okay. Everybody got the picture, okay? Now, want you to think about this from this position. Each of us are like a piece of that entire mirror reflecting Yehovah. Each of us are like a piece of that mirror reflecting Yehovah. Each piece of the mirror is part of the whole. Yes, it's broken and shattered into pieces. It's contrite. Okay? It's dakah. It's right. But it's only if you recognize this, it's as though the mirror has been broken and all of us as a body are shattered into pieces. Now, if one piece of that mirror stands up and says, I have the total, or say one piece or one group stands up and says, I or we have the total understanding of all the truth, and all you people are doing everything wrong. You're all out to lunch. We've got the right answer. And then they start to berate people, and they start to look down at everybody else. Do you see what we're talking about here? What does that do? It elevates one person over another. And you see, Shaul made a statement that's very interesting in 1 Corinthians chapters 12 through 14, but 1 Corinthians 12. He talks about members in the body. And Yeshua also made a reference to this idea in Matthew chapter 23, where he says, you have one teacher, Mashiach, and you are all brothers.
Amen.
So here's the problem. This is the idea of not being contrite. Here's the idea. You take this mirror that has been broken and shattered into pieces, okay? And one piece stands up and says, I've got it, or we've got the answers, we've arrived, we understand, or I understand, and all of you don't. You see, your reflection in that tiny little piece of the mirror is only one tiny little fragment of a reflection of Yehovah's truth. Only one tiny little fragment of the reflection. You are. But you see, there's other pieces of the mirror that are sitting out there that also have reflections of the truth of Yehovah. And you need to allow that to work itself out in the body of Mashiach. So if you truly want the definition of what it means to be contrite, it's this word, dakah. It means to be crushed and broken in spirit and not elevating yourself above your brothers and above the rest of the family of Elohim, but to remember that you are only doing your part of the job. You are acting as you're only acting in your role as one of the members of the body. And when you do that, you then have a proper perspective. You have a proper place in the body, and you recognize that you are joining with everyone else of the crushed and broken in spirit to offer to Yehovah a multifaceted reflection of His Word, to offer a multifaceted expression and reflection of His Word in the whole body. And if you will do this, if you will recognize that you are not the top dog here. You're not the one controlling and manipulating anyone. You are merely one fragment, one piece of a reflection of Yehovah. But you don't have the whole reflection. You are only a part of the whole. Everyone else around you that is following and walking in this Torah and learning the Hebrew roots and coming into the faith, they also are sharing a piece of that reflection themselves as they're learning and growing and understanding what to do. Okay? Matthew chapter 23 and 1 Corinthians chapter 12. Douglas was asking those verses, okay? You all understand this? Okay? Does anybody have any, misunderstandings, or everybody understand what we're talking about? This is the idea, the true idea of body language. This is what it means to be contrite, broken, smashed, shattered, to the point where you cannot elevate yourself over the body, which then elevates itself over Jehovah. You cannot elevate yourself. You cannot control. You can't manipulate. You cannot call the shots. It's not yours to do. And if you get shepherds out there who claim to say, well, we have the whole truth. I understand these things, and you don't. And you poor worthless souls out there who don't know what I'm talking about. Or they berate you, or whatever. Okay, because you just don't understand. And I've done this in my life. I know what it feels like, okay? Then that is a perfect example of not, I repeat, of not being contrite, of not being broken and shattered. You make your body and your mind recognize that you are nothing in that perspective, that you are only part of the overall picture of the body's reflection of Messiah. Any questions about that idea of contriteness or of being shattered in the heart and the mind, so that you can function with the rest of the body in order to bring about a whole picture of Mashiach in the kingdom of Elohim. Almighty doesn't like pride. He will take you off your throne. If you don't humble yourself, He will. Okay, well that's good, Jonathan. But remember, again, as we're saying, get the concept of what it means to be contrite. Okay? It's not so much the pride as it is remembering and understanding you are only a piece of the overall body, reflecting part of what He wants, of what you understand. In other words, let me put it a different way here, just so we really understand, make sure we understand this, okay? I understand certain things about the Torah, the prophets, the writings, the Brit Hadashah. But my knowledge of these things is not, I repeat, is not the sum total of all the truth. I only have a piece of it. I only have parts of it, little tiny fragments of reflections of the truth. Okay? Everybody get that? You, each of you listening in this room, each of you also have reflections of the truth in your ministry service to the body. You, each of you in this room, also are serving in the body in a very real and special way, and you too are bringing reflections of Torah, truth, prophets, writings, Brit Hadashah truth, to the body. You're doing it too. We're all on this process and this journey of bringing these things to the overall good of the community. Does this help you all understand? See, this is going beyond the matter of, well, I have pride and a big head and all that stuff. This is much bigger than this, okay? This is humbling ourselves one to another, humbling ourselves to each other. That's the real idea behind this area of contriteness. Okay? We cannot step in and start controlling and manipulating one another. We can't do it. We're not allowed to do that. We are all members of one body, doing the job that He has called us to do. Okay? Okay, any other questions or comments?